Welcome to Rogue Loop. Today, a special edition covering some of the announcements from Apple at this week's WWDC. Let's take a look. So, this time we have Golden Gate, the 27 OS for Apple devices. That's cool. Apple calls it Siri AI, not just Siri. The name alone tells you something. This is the personal assistant you were looking for. So before we talk about what landed, let's notice what Apple wanted you to look at versus what it slid past. First, the honest part, this is a strong housekeeping year, which is a good thing in my view. No devices were dropped. 2019 iPhone 11 gets iOS 27 and runs better than it did before. AirDrop's up 80% faster, photos land in the library 70% quicker, indexing is instant, mail surfaces the right message even if it's old. And the liquid glass slider finally lets you turn the frosting down if iOS 26 gave you a bit of a headache. And the genuinely clever feature isn't Siri, not that much. It's visual intelligence. Reading your screen, for example. Screenshot a gig poster, get a calendar event, point the camera at the receipt and split the bill. This is perhaps one of the most useful AI features we've seen on any platform in a while. That's real utility, and it's shipping now. Well, almost. Now, the part that got one sentence. Apple's new Siri AI runs on next generation Apple Foundation models, built, and I quote the keynote framing, in partnership with Google. Notice that, is not built by Google. That partnership got a single line. The privacy story got a lot of airtime. Apple spent real stage time insisting that AI is private. Private cloud compute, no middleman. Not even Apple can see your data. It spent almost none explaining that the foundation of the whole system was co-developed with the company whose entire business is knowing things about you. I'm not saying the partnership is wrong. It's surprising though, but building on a frontier partner when you are on your second attempt is a sensible call in my view. So sit with that privacy claim because it's carrying the load. Not even Apple can see your data is a strong promise. It's also perhaps unverifiable from where you're standing, but they did mention they are open to audits by third parties, so it would be good to hear from those. In any case, measure what's measurable. Latency, accuracy, what actually leaves the device. Those you can test. The assurance about what no one can see is a promise, not a measurement. And I would suggest we should treat that accordingly. And here's the detail Apple breezed over. Apple Intelligence is free with an asterisk. The heavier features such as image generation, for example, now have daily usage caps. And the way you lift the cap is an iCloud Plus subscription. Well, we're counting upsells. The customizable Siri voice, the one with adjustable pace and expressiveness, well, that needs an iPhone 17 Pro or Air. So the assistant baked into your OS you already pay for has a meter, and the meter drains into services. Apple's highest margin business. That is by no means an accident. That is the model. Every capped request is a polite nudge towards a monthly bill, and it's a smart piece of business in my view. Which is exactly why it got one line near the end instead of a full slide. So, what do you do with this? If you are a user, update for the speed and visual intelligence. Both are real and free. Treat Siri AI as a beta though, and clock where the daily limits bite before you reach for iCloud Plus. If you're a developer, the app intents and shortcuts natural language hooks are the actual surface area. Siri can drive your app now, built for that, not for the demo sizzle. If you're a strategy or technical lead, notice the technique, not just the product. Apple put the comfortable story on the slides and the commercially awkward parts in a single sentence each. That's how every well-run launch is staged. Read every keynote, including the ones you give, by airtime, not just content. And in this case, if you want to look at the detail, you'll have to look at the WWDC sessions themselves. So, update your phone, your iPhone, Mac, iPad, etc. when the time comes. Or if you are brave like some of us, install the beta, but be warned, it's a good year. Just don't mistake the calm for the whole story. So, what do you think of the updates from Apple? Let me know in the comments. Hopefully you found this useful. This is Rogue Loop, where AI meets real world innovation. Subscribe, like, and share. See you in the next one.